to our speaker this morning, Ms. Sona Bahri, Director of the Inner Space Meditation Center in Abu Dhabi. Let's give her a warm welcome. Sister Sona has been on the spiritual path of meditation for over 37 years and has been teaching and sharing its wisdom for more than 3 decades across the world, including the UK, India, Australia, the US, South Africa, and many, many parts of Asia. Her work has touched thousands, from individuals seeking peace to professionals in leading organizations such as Etihad Airways, Cleveland Clinic, etc. Although she is currently based in Abu Dhabi, today we are deeply fortunate to have her here with us in Malaysia. Today's topic, meditation as a path to self-realization, is one of the topics that resonates deeply with me. As a mental health consultant, I've witnessed how meditation goes beyond technique. It is a sacred journey back to the self, a return to stillness, clarity, and inner power. In a world filled with noise, meditation is the gentle voice that brings us home. Please note that Sister Sona will pause the session at 11:45 a.m. or even earlier if you want, for a short question and answer. So do hold your questions until then. With that, it is my great pleasure to now invite Sister Sona to guide us further. To you, Sister Sona.
Good morning, everyone. And Om Shanti, as we say. So, lovely to see such a big gathering. Do you always have such a big gathering? It's so nice to see that people are interested in learning in a world that's full of people that are so busy and have focus on the outside world. So really to turn within and to look at the self. So to turn within and to look at the self is what I would call self-care. Because if you didn't care about yourself, you would not have come. And so I love the topic today, self-realization. What's realization? What is it to realize something? You know, in English we call it the aha moment. Do you have aha moments now and then? You go, aha, yes, I got it. Yeah? And then sometimes we also say, oh, I see. What do you see? When you say, oh, I see, it's not anything physical, right? It means that I've understood something that I didn't understand up till now. And so, understanding perhaps is one of the steps to realization. One of our mentors, one of our seniors, she used to say that realization is to see with real eyes. Realization. But the point is, who is seeing and what am I seeing? So, all human beings come to places like this, primarily because they want peace. Is that right? Is that why you come here? Maybe I want happiness. I want less noise. Yeah? But we want something inside to be quieter, calmer, actually more in tune with our original nature. And so self-realization is a journey inwards. It's a journey that takes me from the noise that I'm creating in my head today back to a place of stillness, back to a place of silence, back to me being aligned to myself, to the real me. And what is it that we need to realize? What is it that we want to realize? Well, there are two things, I think. One is realizing who I'm not, so I can discard it. And the second thing is realizing who I am. And unless I'm very clear about these two, there's confusion inside me. You know, sometimes when we teach the course and we bring up certain behavioral patterns, and we might say, oh, you know, anger is not good, and it's good if we can get rid of it. And some people say, why not? You need anger to survive in this world. If you're not angry, if you don't push, nothing happens. Is that true? No? So you don't get angry then? You do? Anyone here believe anger is good? Little bit of force? Little bit of pressure? Is it good? It's good? Put your hands up if you believe it's good to get angry. It's good? Yeah? It's good that others get angry? No. You like it when others get angry with you? No. So why is it good if you get angry with them? Children? It's okay to get angry with children? It is. Ah, okay. What if the children get angry with you? That's not good. So interesting, no? So people actually say that the things that we are not, they're good for us. So it's so important to know who I am and who I am not. Then I can choose. And what's happened in today's world, the way I see it is, of course, we all know we think with the mind. But the mind is being driven by a big computer behind it. The mind is only a screen. And behind the screen of our mind are all of our memories, all of our experiences, all of the impressions. This is the English word we use. In Hindi we say sanskar. But actually sanskar is nothing but an impression. For example, if you're driving your car, I don't know about KL, but I know about India. I think it's impossible to drive a car in India for 1 year and it doesn't have a scratch, it doesn't have a dent. Is it possible in KL to have a car that never gets scratched and dented? 1 year? Is it possible? Possible. Then your driving is better than India. People are more honest here. Many times in India, I park my car somewhere, I come back, and there's a little dent. And I think, now that's not fair. I didn't do that. But maybe it's the place I parked my car. You know, not very safe. So, and then you have the dents that you don't see. You know, it happens to me, I don't know about you, when you're going over a speed bump too fast. What happens? You hear a noise underneath the car, and people go, oh, Sona, what was that? I think, oh dear, scratch underneath. You don't see it, but something gets damaged. So same thing for the soul. We go along the journey of life, and there's a little dent, there's a scratch, there's all sorts of things going on. And so we've reached the place today where we learn to cope with the malfunction. Things are not working properly, but what do? We just have to keep going. And it's almost like we mold ourselves to manage the best that we can. And to some degree, we start to actually tolerate our own imperfections. And then there comes the next step, where I start to justify my own imperfections. Do you do that? You make a mistake, and there's a voice inside of you that says, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be saying this. You could have said it differently. You shouldn't even be thinking this. But then, there's another voice that says, well, what do you expect? They made you feel this way. If they were not there, you'd be fine. They made you angry. They pushed my buttons. They triggered me. So the problem is theirs. Do you ever say that? Yeah. So who makes you angry? I don't say many names. I don't want to know the names. Who makes you angry? Your husband, your wife, your child, your mother-in-law, your neighbor, your boss. Who makes you angry? I make myself angry. So, of course, there is a world around us. And the world is constantly changing, moving. But the reality is that nothing can come out of me unless it is stored inside me. Even if people say, this person was like this, there is always a choice in how I respond. However, when something has become a habit, it feels like the choice has been taken away. It feels natural. It feels normal. It feels normal that if a child misbehaves, you have to get angry. It feels normal that if someone says something bad to you, you should feel upset. In fact, sometimes if people don't behave that way, we think, what's wrong with them? So if somebody acts really badly towards you, and really, not just externally you smile, but internally you're very peaceful, how do you feel? Oh, I'm abnormal. This is not what people in the world do. So we have created a normal in this world based on the fact that we are all cars that are dented. It's almost like we've forgotten that a car can come out of the factory and look beautiful. He is like that, she is like that. Of course I have to be the same. Everyone is dented, so dented is normal. True? And that's the way the world has become. It's degraded all the way down to believing that this is okay. The reality is that we were all born clean and pure. What does that mean? So there was a saying by one of our very senior brothers who passed away many years ago, and he said, silence is when there is nothing unresolved in the soul. So if you replace the word silence with peace, Peace is when there is nothing unresolved inside me, which means all the memories and the impressions of the past, the experiences that are sitting in my subconscious, when all of that has been cleaned and settled and cleared, then there is peace. Otherwise, what happens? There's this little fire inside me that's constantly bubbling, constantly alive. And the minute someone does something outside, throws a match, piece of paper, the fire explodes. And so, first I want to realize that all of this extra baggage that I'm carrying inside me is really not me. How do I know that? Well, why are you all here today? Why did you all come? Huh? To listen to me speak? No. Why did you come? Somebody dragged you here? The lunch menu was good? So my husband and I used to go to the meditation center in Sydney. It was over 3 decades ago. And he would only go when there was food, because he knew that vegetarian food was very good. Even if they asked us to go and do something, it doesn't matter what, but as long as there was something yummy to eat at the end, he would be there. Why? Because somewhere inside him, there's an impression of getting comfort from good food. We call these sorts of people foodies. Anyone a foodie here? You have a good meal and you feel so comfortable. Life is settled. So we take peace from many things. Why? Because there's an impression inside us that tells us if you go back to peace, things will sort themselves out. And I'm sure all of you have come here today not just to learn something, but to actually somehow bring yourself back to more peace. Is that true? More peace, which means then more happiness. More peace also means more power. More peace means more clarity. So it's like subconsciously the soul knows, I was at peace, and everything that you're looking for today, believe it or not, you had it. That's why you're looking for it. If I lose my earring or my ring somewhere, and I lose it somewhere where it's dark, and I go and look for it under the street lamp where it's light, will I find it? No. If I go to the mall where everybody is engaged in shopping and I look for it there, will I find it? No. I'll only find it where I lost it. But the problem is it's quite dark there. If I send someone else to find it, the chances are they won't, because they won't recognize it. So I know what I've lost. And only I can recognize it when I feel it, when I find it. But the world tells me, if you want to be happy, you need to have something, you need to do something, which means either eat something or buy something, or isn't that right? And that will make you happy. Or you need to go somewhere peaceful, then you'll be peaceful. So the world tells me to look for everything outside. Meditation tells me everything you need is on the inside. But then when we look on the inside, all we see is anger, resentment, disappointment, bad feelings, so many memories that we've collected. So what to do? What to do? In fact, there's a saying, the quality of my life is measured by the quality of my memories. Quality of my life is based on or measured by the quality of my memories. If I constantly am remembering negative things of my past, how do I feel? Oh, poor me, look at my life, it was terrible, it wasn't fair. If, on the other hand, I look at all the things that worked for me in my life, all that I have, all that I am grateful for, even in difficult situations, somehow I got through it. That's why you're here today, right? Somehow someone came and helped, something changed. So then how do I feel? I feel safe, I feel empowered. So, there's a part of us called the intellect. And the function of the intellect is to remember. So if I remember all the negative things inside me, I add fuel to them. If I remember all the positive things, I add fuel to that. You know the saying in management schools, where my attention goes, energy flows. Where energy flows, life grows. Whatever you put attention to in your life, it grows. You give attention to a small plant, you put it in the right light, you give it water, you give it everything it needs, fertilizer, it'll grow. You leave it alone, you give it nothing, especially no attention, it'll die. So your inner self is the same. So there are many impressions inside me that are not connected to my core of peace, of silence. And all those impressions, I keep remembering them. And I keep using them. And every time I use them, I blame the world. See? But what does meditation teach us? Firstly, meditation helps me really understand that at the very core of my being, the fact that I'm looking for peace, the fact that I'm looking for love, the fact that I'm looking for power, the fact that I'm looking for joy means I was there. And I've come far away like an elastic band. But I'm dying to go back to it. Why? Because it feels good. So that's the first realization I have when I meditate. That I am a being of goodness. Deep down inside me, I have that goodness, but I've come so far away that I almost don't recognize it. But the fact that you're here today looking for goodness means you lost it. The world told you to look for it somewhere else because nobody can tell you about this. And now meditation says, go back. Even though it looks dark, even though inside you doesn't look good, you'll find it where you lost it. Does this make sense? Yeah? So meditation is the inward journey, realizing that I am pure. And actually when I meditate, it's not that I realize through my head, through my thoughts that I am pure. I actually feel it. And when you feel something, nobody can take it away. When you feel pain and someone tells you, no, it's not hurting, you say, it's not you, you don't know what it feels like. You've never been through what I've been through. No? You tell a mother who has had a child, how many of your mums who gave birth to a baby? Yeah, without any injections and this and that. Yeah? You tell the mother, oh no, it's not painful to have a child. She'll say, who are you trying to fool? So all the stuff that I've accumulated inside me, it looks very painful and negative, but it's not me. So meditation gives me experience of who I am. And the more I experience who I am, the more I realize I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not the other. Yes, I've gathered all this baggage, but I need to get rid of it. These days when you travel, most of us like to travel light, especially as we grow older. Remember the days when we used to lift 30-kilo suitcases? Do you do that now as well? Who's got the strength to lift 30-kilo suitcases, right? So you want to travel light. In fact, all our clothes also, they make lighter clothes that are easier to pack, easier to maintain. And so inside here too, we've accumulated so much baggage. It's heavy to carry it around. It doesn't feel good. And so meditation lightens the soul. It allows me to feel that I am letting go of what I don't need. Sometimes when I pack to go somewhere, I do a first pack. And then the next day I weigh my bags and I think, okay, what can I take out? What can I manage without? And to be honest with you, usually when I take out all those things, I still manage very well. I don't need so much. It's the same internally. So, realization means feeling who I am, experiencing that inner pure beauty of my goodness. That's a realization. That means I see myself with real eyes, the eyes of recognizing the true soul. Then there comes another part, which is really recognizing, really seeing that which I'm not, and needing to get rid of it. And these two processes go on together. Most of us, we don't want to ever be bad. We never want to behave in a negative way. If I asked you today, would you like to be peaceful and loving and happy all the time? I'm sure everyone would say yes. Is that true? Even those who put their hands up and said, I think we need to be angry sometimes. Wouldn't you prefer to be peaceful? Wouldn't you prefer to deal with the situation in a peaceful way, even your children? Who said they should get angry with children? Wouldn't it be much nicer if we could manage them peacefully? It would, right? But what happens is all these impressions inside our subconscious mind, they have become deep-rooted. I've used them again and again and again. Not only do I think that they are normal, they actually have a grip on me. They've become a habit. And what's a habit? A habit is when there's a trigger and I react without thinking, what are the consequences of my reaction? Or, not only consequences, but could I do this differently? Is there another way? When I meditate, I slow down my thoughts. I give space between my thoughts. Did any of you hear me the other day saying the mind is like a popcorn machine, right? It's constantly popping corn, popping thoughts. And when I'm constantly thinking, there's no space between the thoughts, like this, And so there's no time to consider, could I think differently? Could I act differently? So what does meditation do? It spaces out your thoughts. It makes your thoughts so much calmer, slower, softer. It's like turning the popcorn machine to very minimal. So there are some thoughts, some corn being popped, but slowly, slowly. And when there is space, it gives time to my friend, the intellect. The intellect is the conscience. The conscience means it's that part of me. The conscience is that part of me that tells me right from wrong. Do you sometimes have two voices in your head and they talk to each other? Does anyone have that? It doesn't mean you're schizophrenic. A normal person. Anybody have two voices sometimes talking here? Suppose you walk into the supermarket and you want to buy vegetables. And you walk down one or two aisles. You know, every supermarket has one aisle. Huh? It's the aisle of the devil. It has chocolate on one side and chips on the other. You have one of those in Malaysia? Yeah. What happens when you walk down that aisle? Do you think about the vegetables? Well, you have to be very focused, right? To keep thinking about tomato, cucumber. Huh? You look this side, you look that side. And a little voice from inside says, oh, maybe I can buy a Kit Kat. And then another voice inside says, don't do it. You already had 4 this morning. You're diabetic. You're trying to lose weight. You need cucumber, tomato to lose weight. Not this. You know? So you look the other way and then all the chips. Again, the voice says, maybe I could. Why? Because somewhere inside you, there's a memory. Chocolate tastes good. Chocolate makes me feel good because it's got sugar in it. Chips make me feel good. But this voice called the intellect is the voice of reason, the voice of truth. And they often have a dialogue between themselves. So which one wins? Chocolate chip or no? Which one wins? Do you buy the chocolate or not? No? Seriously? Oh, well, why are you coming to this class then? If your intellect is working, then what about the situation where someone says something bad to you? And the old you says, oh, I should feel really bad. I should walk away from this person. They're no good for me. And the intellect says, well, that's them. You don't have to walk away. You can stay nice and positive. What happens then for you? You're positive and peaceful and calm and happy? Huh? What happened? No? The intellect wins or the mind wins? The mind, yeah. So all this emotional stuff inside. You see, if we can calm down my mind, if I can be peaceful, the intellect can reason, the intellect can engage, the intellect can take us to truth. The intellect can say, look, you have the option of staying in peace or following the old ways, your old habits. Originally you were peaceful, you were loving, you were pure. You want to go that way, which feels much better? Or do you want to go back to your old habits? You know the old saying, if you always do what you always did, you always get what you always got. If you keep thinking the same way, you'll feel the same. If you keep doing the same thing, the same karma comes back to you. Make sense? Or not? It does. So, realization means if I allow the intellect to speak and I listen to the intellect, I start to empower myself. I shift from the old habits to creating new habits. Sometimes we say we don't actually create these new habits, we just emerge them from the bottom. Why? See, I was pure, right? We were all born pure, clean. That's how God sent us down. That's how the divine made us. And then all these pure habits, as the battery of the soul goes down, they get kind of merged. And on top of these, so many layers of other habits get accumulated, dents, scratches, impressions, right? So the goodness is still there inside. It's there in every human being. But all these layers prevent me from connecting and remembering who I am. So meditation is nothing but remembering who I am and feeling who I am. It's very simple. Shall we try? Give it a go. Just 2 minutes. So just for 2 minutes, put down your phones, your books. Let's start by just bringing the mind here. And how do we do that? Just feel the weight of your body on the chair. Feel how heavy your body is. Now feel your breathing. And as you relax your breathing, you relax the muscles of your body. Just go within and see the screen of your mind with all the thoughts that you are constantly thinking on that screen. And in this moment, I'd like you to gently delete the thoughts, one by one. Make a conscious effort to clean the screen of your mind. Just like you delete files on your computer, just delete. And now, pick up just one thought. I am at peace. Right here, right now, I am peaceful, still, calm. And let this light of peace, this energy of peace, radiate into your mind, filling your mind with peace. Let it radiate into your body, making your body very peaceful. It feels good to come back to peace. So just open your eyes now. And as you do, hold the feeling of peace in your mind. Wasn't it easy to be peaceful? Did anyone find it very difficult? You couldn't stop your thoughts? How come? Nobody? You're quite peaceful? A few extra thoughts might have popped here and there, but generally peaceful? Yeah? Is it difficult to be at peace? No. It's just that we've forgotten how. We don't practice it enough. Now imagine somebody comes in front of you. I call these kind of people DPs, no? Difficult people. So a DP comes in front of you and tries to upset you. And imagine you're in this state. And the old you is saying, shout back, shout back. The old you is saying, move away, move away. Look at your phone, pretend you're not listening. But you're really peaceful inside. What will you do? You just look at them and smile and let the tantrum carry on. And then When it's time for you to say something, maybe you'll say something like, okay, I'll think about it. Okay, we can talk again. Or if really they've pointed out your mistake, you can say, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not going to justify my mistake. Is it really difficult to come back to peace? No, it's not. But what we need to do now is to shift all the energy of the old me, the old style of working, the old consciousness, the old habits, to peace, the new way. And how do you do that? Practice. You just keep practicing again and again, going back to the feeling of peace. This is meditation. Is there anyone here in this room who is in the center for the first time? Anyone here for the first time? So you've only one person, two people. That's it. So everybody else is a good meditator. You come many times, do you? And you practice meditation every day. Huh? Is that true? I mean, there's no point coming here for classes if you don't practice meditation every day. So those two who have come first time, welcome, special welcome. Did you manage to be peaceful during the meditation? It was okay? You didn't have too many thoughts going around? No. So you see, our original nature is peace. But at the time when we face a situation, I need to make a choice. Am I going the old way? Or am I going to pick up the new way, which is peace? Within peace, there is everything. So back to the saying that I said, silence is when there is nothing unresolved in the soul. And so we can be peaceful or silent inside for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Then what happens when you go out there? You see your car, somebody's dented it. The traffic is not good. You know you're going to be late somewhere. You get a phone call or you see missed phone calls. This news, that news, what happens? You know, the lovely inner stage that you created falls over. So we can't hold that silence for very long. And I wouldn't advise you to meditate while you're driving your car either. That's not advisable. Huh? So the more I clean up the old me and I shift my energy back to silence, to the original me. Silence means patience, silence means power, silence means happiness, silence means being loving. You know, peace brings so many things with it. The more I shift my attention, my energy, my focus that way, the more I'm recultivating that in myself, the more I can emerge all the things that got buried inside, bring them up. And all the current negativity, it just subsides. This is self-realization. I don't just realize who I am, but I practice it enough to hold myself, even when I'm out in the world. And everything I feel is only a habit, including things like depression. Oh, I'm so depressed, I'm so low. Well, yes, if you keep practicing that, if you keep saying that, how will you feel? All of our emotions, all of our feelings, all of our thoughts, just habits. So if you want to change that habit, you can. So you just realize which way you want to go, the old or the new. So first you realize what I am, then you realize what I'm not. Then in any situation of life, you realize, do I pick up the old or do I pick up the new? That's another moment of realization, that I have a choice. Now, the fourth realization that comes through meditation. I realize that I can't actually pick up anything new if my old habits are very strong. You know what you call a very old habit that you repeated many times? It's a very common word we use in the world. We call it addiction. So the person who's walking down the chips and the chocolate aisle, and who not only looks at the chocolates and has the thought, but they actually pick up lots of chocolates, put them in the trolley, shopping trolley. What do we call them? A chocoholic. Addicted to chocolate. Anyone here like that? No. Okay. We think that alcoholics or smokers are addicts, but actually anybody who uses their old habits unaware or not wanting to, unconsciously, is an addict. Now tell me who's an addict here? Or maybe I should change the question. Who is not an addict? Every time there's a trigger and I react, what's happening? I'm going back to an old addiction. So how do you change an old addiction? You need willpower. You need strength, right? You see the thing in front of you and you go, nah, I'm not doing it, right? Where does that power come from in the soul? Who can give you that power? Good company can help. You know, if you want to start walking in the morning, 5 o'clock, and your usual habit is to sleep till 10 o'clock, it helps if a friend of yours or a neighbor says, I'll walk with you. Why? Because when the alarm goes and the old thought comes, oh, just go back to sleep, you think, I can't. That person will be waiting. Even better if it's a person in the house, they'll come knocking on your door. Come on, wake up. Otherwise I'll throw water on you. No? So good company can help me. Wisdom of what is right, what is wrong, helps me. But ultimately, what do I need? I need my own inner strength. So that the day that my friend is not walking with me, I still go. Because it's my habit. I want to do it. So if you want to get rid of all your old subconscious stuff, the old me, I need power inside, spiritual power. Where's that going to come from? Who has spiritual power in this world? Tell me, you have a friend who has spiritual power? Anyone who can give you? Is there a shop that sells a bit of spiritual power? How much? For how much spiritual power? Where do you find spiritual power? Who is full of spiritual power? Huh? Nobody's saying it. People so quiet. Are you always so quiet? Or is it the meditation that made you quiet? Huh? You have some. Can I buy some from you? You got enough for all of us? No. You have a little bit. We all have a little bit, no? We all have a battery inside us, and the battery is a little bit charged and a little bit flat. But if you look at the state of the world, do you think any battery out there can charge you? Can jumpstart you? Maybe jumpstart, but not charge you, right? And so there's one source of power up there. Only one. The same one for every human soul. And that power is often what we call the Supreme, the Almighty. The one who is always ever powerful. The one who is ever pure. Just as I, the soul, am actually an inner light. And so the one up there is also ever lit. He is the light. Light of the heavens, light of the earth. He is the light that never changes, never loses power. It's that one whom I can take power from. And if I take power, I get strength to realize that I have a choice. Not just that I have a choice, but I can stand for my choice. You know, if you want to change, but you don't have the power to change, it's a very difficult position to be in, isn't it? I really want to stop this habit. I really want to stop getting upset. I really want to stop getting angry. I can't do it. The old habit is so deep. And so to be able to shift some of those very deep-rooted impressions, sanskaras, I need help from the divine. And this is also what meditation is. Just as I connected and took a few moments to experience my own inner true self, my peaceful self, in the same way, meditation is also the connection with the divine. But when I go inside, I experience shanti. Shanti means peace, salam. When I go up, I experience a similar word, shakti. Shakti means power, takat, inner strength. And the combination of realizing myself being a peaceful being, a silent being, and then taking power from the divine to empower that inner silence. This is the ultimate goal of our life. So, 4 realizations today, right? What did you realize? You realized who you are, and you realized who you are not. Then you realize that you have a choice between who you are and who you're not, every single second of your life. And the 4th thing you realize today is, I need power to make a change. I need power to exercise my thought, my choice. If I don't have power, I'm stuck with the old me, even though I realize I don't want to be that way. And that power comes from the divine. You cannot find it in this world. You can't get it from human beings. You can't get it from plants and nature. Of course, it feels nice to go to a natural place on a holiday, by the beach, in a forest, on the mountains. It feels good. But remember what happens? It's okay for a while. Like when we meditate, we come here, we feel so good. But then you walk outside, it's the same traffic, the same triggers. And because I haven't changed inside, I haven't taken power, the same old patterns of behavior emerge. So, meditation leads to 4 realizations about me. And if I take power, if I make the right choices, if I constantly use the new habits rather than the old, what will happen? I create such a pure me, such a beautiful me, which means ultimately we create a happy world, heaven on earth. We create something which we want to live in, not this old world. So it's 11:30 and I'd like to open up now for questions on any of those 4 realizations.
Anybody has any questions?
Is it more anxiety, not a question? Now, how long and how many times in a day we should meditate?
You see, we use this word to meditate. Means sit down and be peaceful, right? And actually, Wouldn't we all want to feel peaceful all the time? We would, right? And so what was meditation? Do you remember how I defined it? It's just remembering who I am and feeling it. So as long as you're walking around, doing whatever you're doing, just remembering, I'm a peaceful mind, a peaceful being. I'm at peace with everything. You're meditating. The problem is then you get busy doing something else, you forget who you are, then you have to remember again. So as a practice, I would say, it's good to practice coming back to peace every morning when you wake up. And then it's good to end your day with peace before you sleep. So you get a good sleep. But in between, as many times as you can, even for 1 minute, just come back to the feeling of I am a peaceful being. Especially if something has disturbed you, quickly come back to, you know what? I don't want to stay disturbed. Let me come back to that feeling of peace inside. We have a wonderful technique here, a system that we follow, where we think for 59 minutes, and then every hour, on the hour, we spend 1 minute coming back to peace. Do you know what we call this? Traffic control. Control the traffic of your mind. It's like having a red light signal. So you go, 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 green, and then every hour just pause and feel peace again. In fact, there's an app, you can download it on your phone, and every hour it will give you a little ring or a ding or something and remind you, okay, you've been busy 59 minutes now, time to come back to peace. And that reconnection is meditation. So you can meditate once a day, twice a day, or in between every hour, whatever you can manage. The question I ask you is, how peaceful do you want to feel? Meditate those many times. And then you'll find a moment comes when you stay connected with this feeling and with this awareness, this consciousness, that I am a peaceful being. You know, as the battery becomes more and more charged, I can hold my inner silence more and more. And all the old habits, they start to dissolve.
So, while walking also we can meditate, but definitely not while driving. Thank you.
Not when you're a beginner, for sure.
Anybody else?
Yes.
Sorry, the traffic control for the 1 minute, I don't do it at all because as I'm doing something and I'm so drawn to that, so it just passes. So I don't practice the 1 minute. So how do I go about it?
So the first thing is to download the app on your phone, because otherwise you'll forget. You know, sometimes in the morning we meditate maybe at 5, 6, 7 in the morning, whatever. We wake up and we meditate at 4, because it's the quietest time. It's the most sacred time before the sun rises. The world is relatively very calm. Then what happens is you make a promise. Okay, I'll meditate every hour. And then the next time you look at your watch, it's 12 o'clock. Does that happen to you? You know the saying, time flies. And it's a habit to just keep thinking. So the first thing I would say to you is, create a system that reminds you to stop. And at that time, be firm. It's good to think. It's good to do things. But really, if you want to create a new habit, you have to be firm. You know, these days they even say, When they talk about ergonomics and looking after your body, they say you shouldn't sit for more than so many minutes before just getting up, even if you just go and get a glass of water or take a little walk around. Some people even have like Fitbits and different apps, and they tell you, get up now, walk around. Anyone like that? Yeah, it's so important not to keep your back just sitting in one place, and it's not good for your muscles. So in the same way, it's not good for the soul to constantly be a popcorn machine, constantly popping corn, popping thoughts. It's really not good, because it becomes a habit to keep thinking and not be quiet. Coming back to peace gives me power. Coming back to peace gives me an experience of being still, of being quiet. And we realize today how important it is to keep reminding myself, this is who I am. This is who I'm not. Imagine if all of us drove around KL and there's no red lights. What a confusion, right? And this is what we do. We start in the morning, we start to wind up the mind, and the speed becomes more and more and more and more. And there's no red lights during the day. What happens by the time you get to 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m.? What speed are you going at here? And then if anyone says something to you, accident. They said something, there was no space for the intellect to consider, how should I respond? There was no reminding myself, I'm not an angry person, I'm not an upset person, I'm a being of peace. All day you just kept going. The speed of your thoughts, your mind went so high. That's it. Then reaction and bad feelings, and then, regret. So you understand how important it is to keep creating moments when you slow down your mind and you reconnect within. And as you become better at meditating, you don't just reconnect within, you reconnect up. So what happens? Yesterday we went to a mall. I shouldn't say this. I started the story now I'll get into trouble. Okay, I'll say it. Better to be honest. No? We went to the mall and we saw this shop called Boost. What does Boost sell? Juices. Yeah, but not just juices. They call them, it's Boost, right? Energy top-ups, right? So you have this combination of some fruit and maybe, vegetable juices, and they call them immunity boosters, right? And so because everyone was saying, oh, my throat is not good, and so, okay, we have a quick, tiny little, the smallest one, but it gives you a boost, right? So that's what you do. Every 59 minutes, you have your top-up boost, spiritual boost, right? It's so important. Vitamin C tablets, why do we take them? Why do we do all these things? Because it gives us more and more strength, more and more inner immunity. Whereas if I don't do this boosting every now and then, my energy goes down. Make sense? So you're going to download the app. So I'm sure someone can help you here. Ask any of those who live here, the main meditating teachers. They can help you. It's a very simple app, free app. And you just tell it to remind you every hour, give me a spiritual boost, a reconnection in and a reconnection up. And I'm good for the next 59 minutes.
Any other question? It's a good opportunity to ask a senior yogi anything you want.
What about deleting every day the file? That means each hour have to sit and delete the file. That means whatever keep on thinking, keep the message, keep remembrance of past, of things have happened with people and surroundings. How do we delete? But it's keep coming back again.
So we need the wisdom to know what to delete. I don't want to delete good things. but I want to delete that which doesn't help me, which is not beneficial. Because if I'm carrying rubbish and somebody says something, then all the rubbish will come out, right? And that's what happens, all our negative emotions. So once you've identified what you want to delete, and you're sure that this is not beneficial to me, why is it hard to let it go? If there's a bad memory in the past, why are you holding on to it? Why? Because the ego tells you, I am right, they were wrong. We love to hold on to things where we say, it's so bad of you to do this. It's so wrong of you to do this. Why? It makes me feel like I am right. And then what? Just ego boost. Tell me, why would you hold on to something bad? Why would you hold on to something wrong? Some pans, unfortunately, they're not very good. You heat up the pot and the pan the handle connected to it, it heats up as well. It's not good to have these pans in the kitchen. The other day I was using one and I touched it, oh, hot! You let go immediately, right? The handle shouldn't really heat up. You let go immediately because this is going to burn me and it will be painful for days afterwards. So why do we hang on to old memories? Things that hurt us? People come to the center in Abu Dhabi and they say, I have so much pain in my heart. And I said, what happened? Oh, well, 30 years ago, someone said something to me. Okay, where's that person now? They're gone from my life. They died 10, 20 years ago. Why are you holding on to it then? Even holding on to things that I don't need, that are painful, is a habit. It's a habit. It makes me feel good. That I am right, poor me, I am the victim, and that person is wrong. It's a disease. It's a disease. We don't want to stay diseased. It's a disease to keep holding on to things inside. Sometimes I use this word, be a little bit non-stick. Like non-stick pans. Nothing sticks to them. So the soul has to become non-stick. All this rubbish, let go. Don't let more rubbish stick on you. Possible? So before you walk out of this room, think of one thing in the past that you're not going to remember again. Something, a memory that causes pain. I would like to say think of everything and just Control, Alt, Delete. On a computer, when things aren't working, you press these 3 keys, right? Control, Alt, Delete. But even if there's 1 or 2 things that you say, you make a promise to yourself, I am not going back to that memory again. Even if it's something against somebody who is close to you, and you remembered what they said to you, what they did to you, just Control, Alt, Delete. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to change. Even if they change and you keep holding the same memory, what happens? You keep feeling negative. And maybe they've changed. Maybe they've moved on. But you are holding on, holding on, holding on. Then we hold on to memories of ourselves. Negative memories. So at least think of one memory today that you're going to delete. And if every hour, imagine you deleted one memory, within a week you'll come back here clean, pure, bright, and say, that's it, there's a new me. It doesn't matter who was wrong, doesn't matter who was right, just delete. Does that answer your question? Yeah? Okay, so there's one there and then at the back, yes.
How do you know that you are connected to the Supreme when you are meditating?
So many people who meditate initially, they really feel God's light. They really feel God's love. They feel very uplifted. Some people, they meditate regularly, especially in the beginning, and they don't feel it. And they say, okay, I do it, I connect, the technique is right. Somehow, the feeling is not there. And this question, a very good friend of mine from Kuwait, she's an Arab sister, she started to meditate maybe 15 years ago, and she asked one of our seniors the same question. She said, how do I know that I'm connecting to the light of God? And the senior yogi, she answered and said, are you feeling better after meditating? Is your life changing after meditating? Do you feel like you have more willpower to change your old habits? And she said, yes. She said, then you're doing the right thing. Because sometimes we meditate, and some of us have love for God anyway before we come to learn meditation. Some maybe don't have such a deep and close connection. So it takes time. It takes time to open my heart and feel His light, and feel His love, and feel His power. It doesn't mean it's not coming, but sometimes it takes a while for me to open up. So if your life is improving whilst meditating, you're doing the right thing. Don't worry about whether you feel it or not. It's okay. The feeling will come. Is that all right? Yeah, because it's different for everyone. We cannot say this has to happen. No. It's different for everyone. People come and they want to learn meditation, and they're happy to connect with a universal light, but they don't want to call it God. Some people say, I even have bad experiences of God. That's okay. Remove the word. Just connect. Just connect. Connection has an effect. If you connect your mind to something negative, it has an effect. You connect your mind to something positive, it has an effect. You connect your mind to your own inner peace, it has an effect. You connect your mind up there, it has an effect. It just might take time to feel the effect. Okay? Just do it. The Nike slogan? Just do it. Just keep practicing. Then there was a question at the back.
Yeah,
Yes.
Om Shanti, sister. I have two questions. One, while explaining that, we keep years of hurt inside us, and you said that, why are you holding it? Well, the thing is that I am not holding it, it is stuck. I want to remove it. So I have started practicing forgiveness meditation. It's been a few days, but then I want to know how long will it take for it to go? This was first question. And second, you said we should give the other person a chance. But then how many times? How many chances? These two questions. Thank you.
Well, there's a saying, it's a bit of a shock, the saying, huh? You're ready for a shock? There's a saying, God never forgives because God never condemns. We say, God, forgive me. God, have mercy on me. But He never condemns you. He never judges you. He never criticizes you. He is love. We are the ones who hold negativity in our hearts. His heart is not full of rubbish. He is the purest of the pure. So when we say, forgive me, but He never condemned you. Who needs to forgive you? I need to forgive myself for doing something wrong. He is the purest, most loving, most perfect, most merciful being. He has mercy on your situation now. He wants you to change. He wants to help you. We are the ones who don't want to forgive ourselves. We want to keep remembering. How many times would you forgive yourself? Umpteen times. Is this answering your question slowly? I'm practicing forgiving meditation, but I only have to forgive someone, whether it's myself or someone else, if I first judge them as being wrong. You're wrong, you're bad. You did something unacceptable. That's what we say, right? This is unacceptable. Basically, what you're saying is, I don't want to accept you. I want you to stay wrong. And who is it who is saying all this? It's my ego. It's my ego that says, you are wrong and I am right. It's my ego that says, you are bad and I am good. Even if I say it to myself, you did something so bad, it's such a big mistake. You know, who was born and has lived a life that is totally perfect? Anybody here? Anybody here? Anyone put the hand up and say, no, I'm perfect? No. So life is a journey. Life is a learning. And along that journey, there will be ups and downs, because a soul who wants to realize is a soul who learns. So most people who need to forgive others are those who also need to learn to forgive themselves. Whatever you feel towards yourself is how you behave towards others. If you forgive yourself for your mistakes, it doesn't mean that you want to go back to that same mistake, back to the old habits, back to the old impressions. No. But to let go means I have to say, it happened. There was a lesson, there was a learning. Let me take the lesson, let me learn, let me not repeat it. And then let go. It's the same with others. Someone has made a mistake. We don't know what made them the way they are. You know, sometimes I call the old habits, the old me, programming. You are programmed this way, someone else is programmed that way. Which one is right, which one is wrong? Huh? You've been on a journey in life. Every moment is programming you. And you've reached the way you are today, at the end of your journey. Is your programming wrong? No, it's just the way your life played out. Someone else's life, it might even be your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your best friend. They're different to you because their life programmed them differently. Are they wrong? Are they bad? Just because their programming is like that? You know, if you could get into the psyche, into the mind, the subconscious mind of the most violent person on this earth, if you saw what they were taught, what they went through, if you really looked and saw their journey, you would probably have mercy. Because it's not their fault. It's just the journey. So I only need to tell myself I need to forgive when I have judged someone, whether myself or someone, and then I want to take away the judgment and let them loose. But there's no need to judge anyone. There's need for understanding. There's need for awareness. There's need for knowledge. There's need for wisdom in this world. If we all understood each other, we would never judge each other. We would never criticize anyone. From the time they were born, or I was born, if I saw how much I have been influenced and affected and told, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is wrong, you know? If I really just understood, I wouldn't criticize, I wouldn't judge, I wouldn't condemn. Then there's no need to forgive. There's just love. Just love. On Facebook, I read this many years ago. It's a saying, one who criticizes doesn't understand. One who understands doesn't criticize. And that day changed my life. I just realized nobody is wrong. Nobody is bad. They're just a product. Does that answer your question? And as far as how many times to forgive, and well, how many times does God forgive you? And He never judges you. He always has mercy, always has love. So it's up to you how many times you want to forgive someone. But if you forgive them, if you just forgive everyone now for everything they've done, but also forgive everyone for everything they're going to do. Let's just forgive everyone, right? Forgive, forgive, forgive. Then there's peace. There's acceptance. Because I've already forgiven you. It's not your fault. And actually, it's not even my fault. Today, we are all going to walk out of this room and we are going to make mistakes. No one's going to be perfect from this moment onwards. So why don't we just forgive ourselves in advance and let's learn. Every time you see the mistake, okay, I'm not going to repeat this mistake again. Our senior most yogi of this organization, I don't see a picture of her around, but she was, oh, there she is. I can see from my side, you can't see. And we considered her like a mother because of her incredible love for humanity. And she used to say, it's okay to make any mistake, but don't repeat it a second time. That is a real meditator. That is realization. This is wrong. I don't want to do it again. It's a consciousness that is low. Oh, it's happened. Let it go. Don't do it again. Move on. Okay? Now there was a brother at the back who also had his hand up, and there's a sister here with the mic. So we just do 2 more questions and then we end. Is that okay?
Om Shanti, sister. With regarding to meditations, I do meditation certain times at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It depends. I'll tell Baba, I want to wake up this time. When I sit into meditations, after a while, when I'm just communicating, I get a shiver, or shake. I don't know what it means. And sometimes I get some tinkling in my ears. I don't know what is it. It's awakening the soul, or what is it? I don't know. So that's the question.
I would say turn the AC off.
No, I don't use AC. There's no AC. No, you're meditating. Suddenly it give you like something telling you inside, There's something, Maybe it's telling me something or what, I don't know. Because I open the windows with fresh air, I don't use aircon, because I train myself into such condition.
Could be just an auto, function in the body, because actually meditation is happening here in the soul, and really it should make the body very peaceful and calm. But maybe there's a jumpy thought inside that makes that happen. I don't think there's much connection. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yes, at the back.
Yes. Like we said, there are known dents and unknown dents. So for the known dents, we can identify and eliminate those, because those hurt a lot. And also there are unknown dents. How do we identify them and then work on that? Because again, it's like there are unknown fears. So unknown dents are there, and we don't know what is affecting us, and how do we identify and eliminate those?
Such a good question, no? Like, there are things in our behavior we know about, and then there are days when we react, and you think, where did that come from? Why? No? So I would say that meditation has helped me to go deeper. And every time I get disturbed, I understand that there is something inside me that is being affected. At the bedrock of our negative consciousness, I'd say probably there is fear, insecurity, emptiness, these kind of things. But then they manifest differently for everyone. Sometimes if you ask someone, why did you get angry? They'll say, because the person wasn't doing what I wanted. But why do you want the person to do what you want? Because I want to feel like I'm in control. Why do you want to feel in control? Because it makes me feel safe. So there's a fear of insecurity or not feeling safe, So if you go deeper, 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 you'll understand yourself. You'll realize what is really affecting the soul. Ultimately, I would say that every soul is empty. And that emptiness creates, all of these inner fears. So usually as the soul starts to fill up through inner connection, upward connection, inner connection, upward connection, regularly, as you start to fill up, mostly I would say that these unwanted, impurities, negativities, they start to shift. If after meditating a few years and somebody has still got some areas where they can't deal with some deep trauma, some deep hurt, then there are many ways of helping out that soul. Counseling can help. Sometimes inner child healing can help. It just helps you actually to be aware of what's going on, of realizing who I don't want to be, what I am not. Mostly, I would say with meditation it gets cured, because ultimately all I want is to be peaceful and silent inside, resolved. All the rubbish inside is resolved. All the old karma, the old me is cleared. And not only that, also there is a feeling of love towards myself. Because if I keep seeing my own mistakes and my own rubbish, I don't feel much love towards me. So, yeah, definitely, if after long-term meditation things are not working, you can always come back here and talk to Brother Pure, who is sitting next to you, who runs the center, and take some time to talk about what's going on, and he can clarify. Or you can maybe even, sometimes what helps is journaling and writing. When you write down your thoughts, things become clearer. So there are many techniques like that that help me understand myself. Yeah. In the worst case, yes, there is always psychological help, psychotherapy. But I don't think we need to go there. I think a lot of things just get sorted out through time. So is that okay, everyone? We could go on forever, right? Self-realization is a lifelong process. So this is our signal to maybe finish. It's 12 o'clock. So shall we just do a 2-minute meditation to end? Sure.
Okay, thank you so much, Sona Didi, for this truly wonderful and enlightening session. Can we have a big round of applause for her? I'm sure each of us has taken something deeply valuable from what was shared today. May we not only carry these insights with us, but also make them a part of our living daily lives by practicing meditation regularly and reconnecting with our inner peace. To gently conclude this session, we will now have a short guided meditation commentary. Let us sit comfortably, relax, and turn inwards to experience a few moments of stillness.
So just relax on your chair. And as you bring your mind to the here and now, I'd like you to place a tiny star behind your eyes. See yourself as a tiny point of light. I, the inner being, I, the self, the soul. I am this tiny light, a traveler on my journey of life. I came into this world at the start of my journey, very clean, very pure. And over time, dust has accumulated on the light, and the star has become dim. This dust was the dust of wrong consciousness, forgetting who I am as this tiny light, and getting caught up in my roles and responsibilities and life. In this moment, I remember who I am. I am the soul, this divine, pure star of light. And in this moment, I reconnect to the core of my being. Somewhere deep inside me, there is peace. Somewhere deep inside me, there is stillness. And I feel this. And in this stillness, I connect my light to the one divine light above, the Jyoti, the Noor, that is almighty, that is the purest, that is the most loving and merciful one. And I feel His light. I feel His light reaching me, His power reaching me. My inner peace and God's power. Gives me the strength to realize who I am and how I want to be in my life. Now gently bring your mind back. But don't forget the inner light that is you, the soul, and the one above, the divine. I am peace, Shanti, Salam. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Can we have the flyer? Before we talk about the flyer, I would like to thank you to all the beautiful souls who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make Insightful Thursday happen every week. From the kitchen team to those handling the audio, flyers, and everything in between. Your dedication is truly appreciated. And also a big thank you to Pio Bhai, who's the chairman of Brahma Kumaris, whose support and commitment for the program has benefited many souls week after week. Thank you. Okay, this is a flyer for next Thursday's program. So next Thursday we have a scientist coming from Mount Abu, Shrikant Bhai, from Rajasthan, India. So he does a lot of experiments on the mind and body connection. So he's experimented a lot on meditation and how its effect on the body. So please do come and take benefit. Now we'll have a group photograph session followed by Toli and then a light lunch or Brahma Bhojan. Thank you everybody who could make it today. I hope you all benefited and do go back and practice meditation that we've learned. Thank you.
ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு பார்த்து எவ்வளோ
பிஸியாக இருக்கீங்க
just had to reply a call and so okay, come. Okay.
Hear me calling you, the voice of a mother and a father and a child. Would you recognize the truth? Do you feel the love that's falling from my eyes? Take just a minute, come and rest here by my side. Let me tell you your own story. Let me walk you through your lives. Only a second, it's all it takes to realize there's 100,000 angels by your side. There's 100,000 angels by your side. Do you hear me talk to you? I whisper through doorways and pathways of your mind, clear like the morning dew, and fresh from my journey across an ocean of blue. Take just a minute, come and rest here by my side. Let me tell